Hey besties, it's Rosie. Bestie, a bit of a heavier energy today that I'm picking up on. In fact, this is my third attempt at filming this because I think that I myself am experiencing so much resistance to this energy, even talking about it, because it's difficult to talk about. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of deep dive into our childhood wounds. The energy I'm picking up on at the start of this spread is called Root Girl, the Disowned Self. I'm going to show you this card. This card speaks to the aspects of self that we ourselves have discarded or disowned because other people in our lives, usually our initial caregivers, taught us that we had to do that in order to earn their love. There's a big, crazy bug trying to get in the window of my car right now as I'm saying this. I'm feeling like that is the interference. That is the energy of you having to keep parts of yourself secret, quiet, hidden away, so that no one could get to them, so that no one could reaffirm this belief that was instilled upon you, that those parts were unlovable and inherently made you unworthy of love because you possess them. Wow, bestie. There are like a ton of bees right now swarming my car. Bees are a collective consciousness sync for me. So this is a collective energy. If you are experiencing this or you're now being made aware of it, this is something that is percolating through our collective. This is something we are purging and integrating as a collective. How this manifests for you will vary for everyone, but this is a collective issue that we're talking about. Bestie, I will speak from my own experience here. I grew up in a family who, to this day, does not know how to sit with their own feelings. There was a lot of trauma in my bloodline, a lot of wounding, a lot of abuse, a lot of misuse of power and authority. And as a result of that, everyone in that bloodline just kind of learned to never talk about it. They came up with all these unhelpful coping mechanisms to work around ever having to sit with themselves and acknowledge that pain. And bestie, when you grow up in a home like that, in a bloodline like that, when that is modeled to you by the adults around you, it becomes so inherent to you that you don't even realize you're doing it. Even when you are consciously on the healing journey trying to make changes, there are parts of you, of your psyche, that are on autopilot because in your childhood, putting them there was paramount to your survival. Spirit, what do you have to say about this? Bestie, I'm picking up on an energy of their, I'm speaking to a collective of someone who needs to replenish themselves. There is an emptiness inside of you that you probably don't even realize is there. And why it's there, it's because it's always been there, because in your integral moments of development, you were not given the nourishment that you needed. So now you are being called to, one, recognize that this happened, two, recognize that there is an emptiness that needs to be filled, and three, do the work to fill that part of you. You're being called to approach this from a place of curiosity, rather than blame, rather than regret, rather than anger. Curiously ask yourself, what parts of you do you disown? What parts of you are you hiding in order to receive the love and acceptance of those around you? Bestie, I think that if you approach this with a gentle curiosity, you might be extremely surprised at what you find. What parts of you that you are hiding, what people-pleasing tendencies that you are leaning into to mask these parts of you that are actually quite lovable, that are actually quite endearing, that are actually quite vulnerable and perfect if you were to actually sit with them and acknowledge them. Spirit, what else do you want my collective to know about this? Oh, bestie. I don't know why this is turning into a union reading, but I am kind of getting this energy of if this is resonating for you, you might be approaching inner union or outer union if you've already established your inner union. And this is kind of like this is like a little pocket of energy that is still in there, still lingering, and it's causing some distortions. I'm kind of picking up on like a sound wave. Like, you know, when you throw a rock into the water and the ripples ripple out almost like to the entire pond sometimes. These, like the ripple that is being felt right now is at the farthest reaches of the water's edge. So trying to trace it back to where that pebble entered the water could be pretty difficult because it's so deep in there. So even if you are consciously on this healing journey, even if you are doing the work all the time, you're very, adept at shadow work, it might be difficult to find this part of yourself because it is so deeply buried. It was something that was deeply buried since childhood. But I am seeing that if you're able to kind of suss this out and release it, it will help you more fully be able to step into this union energy with confidence, because there are parts of you that you believe are unlovable. There are parts of you believe on subconscious level that you have to subvert in order to attract in this partnership. And bestie, that isn't true. If you are able to give those parts of yourself love, your outward reality and the people that you attract will mirror that also. And those parts are very deserving of love. Spirit, is there anything else you want my collective to know about this? Bestie, I'm getting this energy of when you do this work, when you do this shadow work, you're going to have an understanding of all the ways that you have subconsciously pushed away love, help, assistance, because you did not believe you were deserving of it. There was some deep held belief in there preventing you from feeling deserving of the things that are owed to you, the things that are trying to come in for you. This could be like a person who is manifesting love, but at the same time, on a subconscious level, you're actually pushing it away. Even if it comes in, there's some part of you that believes like you're not actually worthy of it. And so you might be self-sabotaging even when you don't realize that that's happening, because there is this very deep wound in there that still needs to be tended to. So it's not a life or death situation, but I do see this energy of union trying to come in for you. But I also see you subconsciously pushing it away because there's this very small child self of you, this very innocent part of you that was taught to believe that you're not worthy of that. Bestie, that's sad. Oh my goodness. Wow. Bestie. Again, with the card down the crack, I can only imagine what's down there. Definitely picking up on this energy of you ascribing to an old belief, or maybe this has been mirrored to you by toxic connections that you have had. I'm picking up on a King of Pentacles figure here who is very oppressive and controlling. I'm seeing there's still like this little lingering deep held belief inside of you that is telling you that if you are not useful to someone in some way, shape, or form, that you do not have value. That the parts of you that can't be monetized, the parts of you that cannot be used to serve another person, are not worthy of love. They are not useful. They are not something that should be celebrated, shared, or shown, and that is a distortion that needs to be healed. That is not true. The silly, lighthearted, childlike, playful parts of you, the parts of you that can't be monetized, the parts of you that not everyone might understand, those deserve some airtime too, okay? And the people that are meant for you are really going to want to see them. I think that you're going to be really surprised at the reception that you receive by these people who are actually meant to be in your life. I think only then, when you actually have the courage to show them to another person who receives them and celebrates them, only then will you really understand the impact of what happened to you in your childhood when you were made to feel shame for those same traits. I'm going to leave this here, bestie. I love you.